so usually I do an aggressive opening where I build hordes and hordes of battleships, but this time we're going to build hordes of light cruisers, because I want to build 1,000 of them eventually. So we're starting out with the China campaign, and let's go see what light cruiser options we have. So we have our typical Light Cruiser 1, and this is a good ship. Um, Max speed of 20.5 knots. We have this thing, which is a lot more stable, but it's slower. Not quite as... We can still make it big. Let's see if we... Can't make it quite as big. So we can make that one, so that'll go a little bit faster. The pitch and roll might not be quite as good. We go with the 3-mast cruiser, which this doesn't have quite as high of a top speed, but can be a little bit bigger, but it's more stable. And then we can do these small ironclads and torpedo cruisers. Now, a small ironclad looks dumb. It's slow. I think I'm going to go with the Light Cruiser 1 probably. Well, let's see here. If we were to do the experimental 3-mast cruiser, because this has a... Let's think about where we can build our towers. So I want to have lots of forward guns. But this thing's not going to have as many... This thing's going to have some weird funnel option. I don't like that. No, we're going to go with Light Cruiser 1. Alright, so we want to build a lot of these as cheap as possible, so we can do our cheesy start. So what we're going to do is we're going to go minimum all this stuff. And we want to make it as big as possible, okay? And then all this stuff doesn't matter. We're going to go with no armor, because we want to make these as cheap as possible so we can build as many of them as we can. We have to have at least a front tower, which we're going to stick right here. We have to have at least a funnel. We're going to go with a standard funnel. And then we need to have at least a rear tower. Alright, so that's kind of the minimum that we need. $1 million a pop. And then we need to have at least some main guns. I want to put at least one main gun up front and one main gun in the back. And we're going to make these have no armor and as short barrel as possible. And the reason we have to do this is we want to make sure we don't have a too far from previous place error. Yeah, the crew probably won't be an issue, but just in case, let's see, we're going to go with reduced, light. Can't do anything about these. And we'll make these have unbalanced rudders. Doesn't seem... 730. We'll do a balance. That's the cheapest. All right, so this is as cheap as we can make it while having spacious quarters, because we want to make sure that we can have as much as possible later on. These are a little over $1 million a pop. What was that? Front tower 2. We're going to go front tower 1 just to save a little bit of money. There we go. So this is as cheap as we can make it. If we went with minimum crew, it wouldn't change. The crew doesn't change the price that much. So this is our minimum ship. So, and we're going to call this the Happy Family, because that's my local Chinese place, and they're really nice people. So, we're going to go build this. Alright. So now what we're going to do is we are going to build all of them. We have... How much money do we have? We have $400 million. So that's kind of a lot of money. So we are going to build a lot of these. Oh my god, it won't let us build more than 100. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Alright, so that's... So that right there is 100 million. We still have more money left over, so let's go build... Can we build more of these? Oh, we can. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Look at that. Another 185 million left. So we are going to build another 100 of these. And we still have 77 million left, so we are going to build another there we go, 71. So we are going to start out with 371 light cruisers. That's not bad. Alright, let's go build the shipyard. We're going to start with no crew and no tech, max out our transport capacity, and then just whatever tech we can manage, which is not going to be very much. But this is our opening, okay, where we're starting out with a crap load of light cruisers. Now, as far as our research goes, what are we going to do for research? We need, right off the bat, we want rangefinders. We need to start working on small guns. We want secondary turrets for cruisers. But that might be a little bit problematic in the future. So we're going to go small guns, we're going to go engines. I would really like to have the boilers as well. And maybe that's the better option. Maybe we just go boilers. Try and get the induced boilers, because that makes a huge difference. So we go engines, boilers, and rangefinders. Our guns, our initial guns, are going to be weak. You know, getting the Mark II 4-inch guns is going to make a big difference. That's going to take a little while to do. So that's really a tough choice. Do we go for boilers? Do we go for small guns? I think I'm going to go boilers, just because we need the speed for what we're doing. All right, so double checking our finances. That's all good. We've got 1 million tons of ships, which is great. So we're going to be very invasion-y. Our politics, we're not going to touch any of the politics quite yet. Basically, everybody's okay with us except for Japan, and Russia's not really that thrilled with us. So, so let's start the campaign. And now, what we're going to do is we are going to take our Happy Family ship design. This thing is so mad that we have so many ships. Let's start raising our tech budget up a little bit. I'm surprised we can get our tech budget up that high. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to go and view the ship. And we are going to modify the design. So here's where it starts getting good. Because we're going to go start building the best that we can have. And let's just give it all the survivability that we can give it. Just to sort of see how where we're at. We're going to go minimal crew, because we want to add to our crew pool. And we want to make this thing go faster if we can. So, main tower, because it's a base action of 3, 2 zones. Go with the better tower. I mean, I could leave that there. So instead of the standard funnel, we're going to go these angled funnels, because we're going to need all the funnel capacity we can get. Actually, what we might do, even, is I might take this and stick this right behind that. Put my funnels in the rear. I can scooch this in. It's about as scoochy as we can get. Alright, so this will give me plenty of funnels. And then for our I want to try and stick a barbette up here. We could try doing this and make our guns longer barreled. So we do something like this, right? And get... Now the other option is, because this would theoretically allow us to have maybe something over there. The other option is we take off the barbette and we just try to go... We can't get 3 guns here. And we could try to do... No, that's not going to work either. So I think we're going to go with the barbettes. Or we could try to go with this... with the smaller barbette. Now the other option is, instead of going with the 4-inch guns, because these don't get casemates, they don't get barbettes, we could try going with a 5-inch gun. And I guess we can't extend the length of it. So we have to go 5.5 in order to get barbettes. So we could do something like that. And if we compare these two guns here, this has an 8.5 kilometer range, 7.6 kilometer range. It gets 4.5 shots per minute. Well, it's not nearly as good. 194 damage. Does twice the damage, but not quite half the shots. 1.1 accuracy. They're both about the same accuracy. So this one hits a little harder, and we can have some armor. So I'm going to go with the 5.5-inch guns. I mean, it'd be nice to be able to... It'd be really nice to be able to have extra guns. But if I park one there, there's just not enough room. These are just too small. So we're gonna go 5.5-inch guns. Now we might not actually be able to do that up here, because these might be too big. That's the only problem. So maybe the 4 inches are better, so I can fit unless I do something like that. which isn't great. That would give me a little bit more firepower. And this doesn't really give me a lot of firepower on the side, does it? Not really. So that's kind of the downside of something like this. Now, as far as the casemates go, 5.9 and 7. I guess we're going to go 3-inch guns over here because I can't do much. We can beef these up a little bit. This gives them a 7.1 kilometer range. So that's not awful. But I can't put any other, main guns up here. So maybe the 4-inch is actually the better option. Because if I go 4 inches, I can fit more on. Now, whoops, I messed up there. Let's go put you back. Can I... Can't do anything with this. I can... That's not really helping much either. So about the best I could do is I could do something like that. And that gives me kind of my maximum number of guns up front. And that might be the, maybe that's the option I use back here. I could go put... do something like that. That gives me pretty good arcs of fire. That's not bad. Alright, so this is about where we're at, right? Alright, so... so as far as the turret armor, we can beef that up a bit. Can't really do that much. Let's give it maximum bulkheads, because I forgot to do that. Can we give you maximum range? Maybe not. 22 knots. 21.5, I think it's the maximum for the hull. And then let's start kind of tweaking down the front armor just a little bit, because I want to have it better balanced in the back, because the balance is important. Alright, so it's not armored as well as I would like. Now what I could do, if I wanted, is I mean, that's got a nice firing arc there. I could add... I could put a barbette here in the back. Give it better firing arc. And that has kind of bad... this makes it a little tricky, doesn't it? Or I could take that off and I could just go with... There we go, I can just do that. Alright, that's pretty good. This gives me extra guns. Gives me, and you go in, now we'll leave the standard reloading. Got the compound armor. We're about as good as we can get it on this thing. Can't really add any better deck or protection. You know, we're a little bit limited here, but we'll be able to upgrade this later. We'll just sort of max out the... We'll just max out the armor a bit. And we'll scooch this back. I don't really like it being... Man, this is just not going to go my way, is it? I ought to just put the That's good enough. All right. All right, so this is our happy family, and we'll fix it up a little bit more later. But this is at least a start. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this first ship, and we're going to refit one of these. We'll refit the happy family. It's going to take 12 months. And then, because we want to focus on our economy, we're going to take all of these guys, all 371 of these, and we are going to mothball them. Boom. And you know what I did? I forgot to set the port, because I'm dumb, so they're just scattered all over the damn place. But now we have extra money for growing our economy. We've got a buttload of sailors. And do 1% crew training, just because we need a little bit of crew training. So this is going to be kind of how we start out with our ships. We've got all the other ships mothballed, and then we're going to, as we go and build this up, then we'll refit the ships. We'll start refitting them all and unmothballing them once we have better technology. But this is how you start the game with nearly 400 light cruisers. So I hope you enjoyed that. That's my little tutorial. And I'll get back to the stream. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you guys back on the stream in just a minute.